a girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod.
I guess we're going to go and answer the car phone. Let's see who's on the car phone. Hi, I'll call her. You're on with the car guy. What's up?
Well, I have a problem with a F-250 truck that I own. I took it to a muffler shop, and after I got back from the muffler shop, all my gauges quit working on the car.
All the gauges quit. What year is it?
My temperature gauge works, but everything else is not working on it.
Okay, what year is this?
A 97.
97. You know what? That's back in the day when they had fusible links, and there's some main fuse links that you have to check that could have gotten jostled, from the starter or down around the solenoid or coming off the battery. Something that got jostled while it was up on a rack or whatever, or a ground.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at that's. Got to be wiring. I don't know how they couldn't. At 97, you can't blow the magic smoke out of the dash. You know what I'm saying? If something's not connected, that's the problem. When they put that up on the rack, something came apart or something. And it's 97. It's going to happen when you go bending these things and flexing these trucks. Some things, grounds are going to get loose, connections are going to get loose. You might even blow a fuse. But you got to look at all your good connections. Make sure everything's plugged in. All the fuses are good. Nobody blew a fuse, but maybe they were welding on it and they blew a fuse because they were welding on the exhaust. That happens. It just does. That's stuff that
Well, I have checked fuses, but I haven't found that. Fusible links. What do they look like? I guess I'm asking.
Well, they start from the battery, and they usually on a 97 Ford, I believe, they come from the battery. There's a on the positive, you'll see 3 or 4 wires coming off of that positive cable going to 2 or 3 other ones, and those are fusible links, and they pop when they get hot, when they get shorted. You have to make sure that there's the power going through all those wires coming off the positive side of that battery.
Okay, I will check that. I thank you so much for your advice.
I'm pretty sure you've got a connection problem. I'm pretty sure that's all it is.
That's what I was thinking, but I couldn't find it in the fuses. And the other thing that's really strange is my gas gauge does sort of work, but it's completely wrong. And when I'm out of gas, it's actually registering that I've got the fullest tank, and it never drops below 3/4.
Okay, that almost sounds like that's in the tank. That's that's real possible. But then again, you got wiring running down the side of that frame that goes to that gas tank that has to be looked at. Because any kind of ground will make that gas tank wire, any little bit of ground on that gas tank wire will make it read crazy. Make it read way too full. That's how it operates on a ground. They send a slow voltage to that tank, and they use a scheduled ground when the float goes up and down in the tank to tell you how much is in there. If it's got too much of a ground, of course, it's going to read full, or more full than it is. So you got 97 vehicle. You got to look at some wiring, buddy.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks for calling. Oh, we got to go to another car phone. You're on with the car guy. What's happening?
Hey, George.
Yeah.
Hey, is this George?
Yeah.
Big George.
Yes, it is.
Hey, man. Jeff Santana. I just got done doing our Burning Issues radio show on WIMS, and I'm listening to you now. I wanted to share something with you. This isn't a problem I have today, but I did have, and I just wanted to get your opinion on it.
Sure.
We had a 2009 Dodge Caravan, and low miles were on it. Actually got rid of it, I want to say, in 2014. Well, what was happening, that thing would hold like 5 quarts of oil. And I was going back and forth with my backyard mechanic, getting my oil changes, which I did religiously, and I still do with all of my vehicles every 3,000 miles. So a couple times I went in there, he said, man, he goes, you've only got 3 quarts left in this thing, or you were down to 2 quarts. So we're looking, he puts it up, and, we're looking for any leakage. We're looking for residue in the tailpipe. We're looking for anything and everything. Can't find it. I take it back to my Dodge dealer, and they come up with this thing that said that is very normal for a vehicle. Okay, because I will remember it had 75,000 miles. For a vehicle over 75, that it's going to lose oil, and that's just the way it is. They even printed something off the internet for me, and I said, so let me tell you something. Here's one thing. My wife drives this vehicle. I should put a sticky note because I religiously get my oil change 3,000, but this is happening after 1,000 miles or whatever. I'm losing oil. So I need to put a sticky note and tell her to put a quart of oil in, every other stop at the gas station. I said, that is ridiculous.
Jeff, you know
what's your thoughts?
Jeff, what you ran into?
Jacking me or what?
Oh yeah, what you ran into was a dealer that didn't want to fix your car. 2 quarts of oil in between oil changes is too much. Anybody will tell you that. At one time, General Motors had a schedule of about a quart every 2,000 miles was normal for General Motors, but I've never heard Chrysler say that. I've never had one of those vans that burned oil. They usually leak it. They leak, the valve covers leak, and then it burns off before it hits the ground, so you don't get a puddle on the ground, but you get a kind of a nauseous smell under the hood. But I've never had one of those vans,
I know.
the Chrysler van that burns oil. That car had a problem, and they didn't want to fix it.
Well, and honest to goodness, I did get rid of it. I'll tell you what, I still have, and I had this one since birth. I've got a 96 Dodge pick 'em up, and that's going to be the last Dodge I'll buy. And I'm sorry that I have to slam them, but I did. I went through the some representatives in Detroit and such, and I just kept getting this run around. I said, well, you guys just sold the last Dodge to me, I'll tell you that. And I really did like that vehicle, but I just wanted your opinion. And
I cut my teeth on Mopar. Yeah, I cut my teeth on Mopar, Jeff, when I'm back in the day in the 60s, and I like Mopar. I always have, but they have their problems right now with transes and engines. For a while, they were given 100,000 mile warranty and lifetime warranties on powertrains because they had problems with them. They were getting a reputation. That's why they were offering full lifetime warranties on powertrains.
Okay, and let me hit you with this question. I'll let you go and get on to the next one. But that is, what do you think, or how do you feel about extended warranties when they want to charge you, extra money for that? What's your opinion as far as, is that a scam, or is it something that we all should be taking advantage of?
Well, you know what? It is, but you got to watch the company. The scam is in the beholder. It's the guy that's selling it to you. Some of those they don't cover much at all, Jeff. And then and they charge $1,600, $1,800, $2,000 for it, and it doesn't cover much at all. Now that's the one you don't want. But there are good companies out there that sell good warranties. You just got to read the fine print. You got to know what's covered.
I understand,
because it's well worth it. Because today's repair, it costs $5,000 to put a trans in your car. If you pay $2,000 for an extended policy, you save $3,000. I mean, it's that simple. Do the math. But what I'm telling you is, you got to watch the company. There's a couple of them out there that at my shop I won't even deal with. We won't even call them. We won't have anything to do with them. Simply because the customer gets hosed, and I won't be a part of that.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
I got you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Enjoy listening to you.
Thanks,
and
Jeff.
Thanks for being on board.
Thanks for calling, buddy.
Bye.
We're going to talk about some cars. I got some things I want to tell you about the car world, the car business, what's going on with the cars that we're driving. This is the very, very cars that they're for sale out there. They're on the used car lots. They're on the new car lots. And the car makers are just doing some tap dancing, doing some funny dancing. They're doing some silly things. And guess what? They're getting caught. All right, we're going to go to the car phone one time. Let's see who's on the car phone. Welcome to the car show. You're on with the car guy. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing it.
Hello. You doing it? Hey, I got a 2003 Buick Rendezvous.
Okay.
It's a 4-wheel drive. In the back wheels back in there, we got trouble with them binding it up and stopping. Can you turn that into just a front-wheel drive without having any trouble?
No, you can't. And they've had their problems with the Rendezvous. They have a fix for that. There's a couple of bulletins out on that Rendezvous in the back end. Okay, and you get it to the right shop. that has the latest info, and they can go through those bulletins and get that fixed up for you. They've had their problems, and again, it's nothing terrible. They can be fixed, and those are nice little cars. I like those little cars actually. And the 4-wheel drives, for a 4-wheel drive, that's one of the best riding 4-wheel drives I've ever been in. Usually 4-wheel drives ride
I
like.
don't know what it is, but that rotor in there is tipped and it's binds.
Oh yeah, they have a brake problem, and they have a. I can't exactly tell you what that bulletin is about, but there is a fix for that problem on the rendezvous.
I got a lot of mileage on it, and I like the other caller that called about the oil leaking out. Sometimes it leaks out quite a bit, then it don't for months, and then it will again.
On that rendezvous?
I think the best thing to do is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best thing to do is junk it.
Well, I don't know how many miles you got on it, but
worth a couple grand. Probably only worth a couple grand at the most, right?
Well, at the most, yeah. But you know what? Why junk it? You can still drive it to the store. You just can't drive it. I wouldn't take it to California, but you can drive it down to the store.
Well, my wife just bought a new car.
Well, there you go.
A year ago, so paid 40 grand.
You got a fancy new car to go out in.
It's just an extra car sitting around.
Yeah, then you can get away. I know how that works, buddy. I have to get away once in a while. I have to grab my car and just go away and get some air. You know how that works? You're better off having your own.
I'm 85 years old. I think the best thing to do is to rent one.
there you go. Or call Uber.
That'd be money ahead, right?
Go for a ride on Uber.
And I can always drive my wife's car.
I love it, buddy. Thanks for calling. You're calling the car guy. Thank you, buddy.
Boy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we get calls like that all the time, and hey, that's what the car guy's here for.